Naomi's in rehab.
Seriously?
She's addicted to pills, and she's left me. You didn't seem really surprised.
I really want to start with the first thing and just say thank you for your work. I've enjoyed both of your work for a very long time, and thank you for doing what you do.
Thanks. That's a nice compliment.
Yeah. So, Mila, I'm going to start with you, and it's probably the most important thing. So you find out about this project. You find out Michael Keaton is going to be in it. And I'm just curious, what does it actually cost to work with him? Like, what did you pay?
I know, right? No, I hear you.
It's
and
a fee.
Trust me.
It's a hefty fee.
It's a discounted rate. It's fine. It's at like a Goodwill. No, it is a dream. Everything about this job was an absolute dream. I would have paid.
Yeah, that's why I asked what you paid.
Yeah, I paid. I washed his car.
Yeah.
I shined his shoes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I give him little haircuts, just little buzz cuts once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She gave me tickets.
Tickets, yep.
Tickets to things because she's connected to everybody.
Yep. Lots of tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Parking mostly.
Another follow-up for you, if you don't mind. I'm so amazed that Family Guy is still on the air. And because first of all, the show's fantastic, and I've been a fan for forever, but like you started working on that show when you were like 16.
Holy moly.
You've been working on it. My mistake. I'm so sorry. You've been working on this for more than half your life.
Oh yeah.
Most shows, like, what is it like to be part of a show that has been this successful for so long?
Yeah. What is it? 26 years? No. What am I at? 26 years.
Wow. Yeah, it's crazy.
What is it like? There are no words. I mean, keep in mind though, the show was canceled twice. It is very much like the little train that could. It is like the greatest gift. I do text McFarlane every like year or 2 years whenever our contracts are renegotiated. And I'm like, please, let's just please renegotiate. Like, I'm so in. Let's not poke the bear. Let's just do this. I love my gig. I love it. I love that people still watch it. I love that it's still relevant. I love the fact that the writers are still able to create new and exciting storylines and people find it funny, more importantly.
Boy, that's pretty impressive. They feel like that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wait, when it got canceled, what did they do?
Twice.
Go to another network?
Nope, it just got canceled. And then it got brought back up because of
people
fans.
said, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was all, I mean, it's credit to fans. It was like one of those where I think the second time, by the way, I only found out I got picked up the second time. This is now 15 years ago. I don't remember what that time is, but because I was watching the news. And on the news, the ticker was like, Family Guy brought back from cancellation. And I was like, I wonder if I'm back. Like, I honestly sat there going, huh. And I'm looking at my phone. I was like, my phone didn't ring. So I wonder what's going to happen.
And you'd have done it instead of called you and said,
yeah.
Boy, it's that nice to hear somebody like something so much. Because a lot of times you'll hear, oh, God, I was so over all those years. I just couldn't wait. That would have been me, by the way.
Not on this gig. Keep in mind, Family Guy works like this. One, for me, Thursday out of the month for maximum maybe 2 hours.
It's so funny.
It's funny, and I just record, and I record in my house.
Yeah.
I have a booth at home.
Yeah.
So it's like the greatest gig on the planet.
Can I use the booth? Because I don't have a booth in my home.
You can come to the house. Yes, use my little recording booth.
You should rent it out.
Okay, to you. You can have it.
No,
free.
To anybody.
Free of charge.
To anybody. You just say, that's a little side money. Like one day you look outside and, like Anthony Hopkins is coming.
What's happening? Oh,
I got a voiceover.
There's like a side gig on that. Like, just come in, guys. Come through the art room, please.
You run into somebody, go, what are you doing? I'm doing a voiceover. Wait, you doing it at Kunis' house? You go, yeah, me too. I got to be there next week for
Okay, next, it's happening.
Michael, this question is for you. You really never know nowadays how movies are going to do at the box office. Things that I thought were going to be hugely successful didn't perform. And then there's huge surprises. What does it mean to you for the sequel to Beetlejuice now having crossed 400 million globally?
Oh my God.
A lot. A whole lot. For a lot of different reasons, for a lot of somewhat obvious reasons. And I knew it would do well. There's no way I knew it would do this well. But for years, I never understood, just from a cold-hearted business point of view, why they wouldn't pull the trigger when I would say, it's about the only thing I want to do again is that movie. And then I kind of made a push for it for a few years there, saying, and then I would have years where I thought, I didn't think about it at all. Or I said, yeah, I think we missed it. So let's just not worry about it anymore. But I always knew, and I think the only reason some of this stuff is you'll be out and somebody will say something like this gentleman here just said, man, you're a family guy and all that. You know what's out there. Like
sure. People kept going up to you and they're like, oh,
my God, it's my favorite thing. My kid does this, and I know that. And plus I loved it, and I knew it was unique. I knew it was unusual. So I always thought, at worst, you have a strong opening. Take the money, film the studio, take the money, put it in the bank, move on to the next thing. You did, you hit a single at worst. So no, I wasn't surprised by that point. Did I expect this? No, but it's fun. Also, I love just that it's out there again. Anyway, I love this movie.
Right. Oh, we're about to get into it, actually.
Okay.
If you don't, I swear, well, I had a whole bunch of time with you, so I like throwing curveballs at the beginning.
Sure.
If you guys, both of you have done such cool roles through your career, if you could go back in time and like do one more day on the set of something,
Oh boy.
replay, like play a character again for one more day, what would you do and why?
Oh my God. I mean, I have two answers. Well, it's hard to say. I, was on a show with my husband for 7-8 years, way before he and I were anything. And there's a part of me that's like, I wonder if I ever went back to that moment, if I would look at him differently. Like, I wonder if I would look at him in a different light. I don't know. But are you saying to go back in time or as today, I guess is my question. Let me clarify. If it's as today, then I have a different answer. But if I go back in time, I have a different answer.
Oh my God, I hadn't thought of it like that.
This I like her. She's a thinker. No, it's true, because she's got me thinking. I'm going, yeah, that is different. That's really
a different answer. To go back in time, I would do one more day in 70s and see if I could
At this time.
No, if I can go back in time. If I can go back in time, I'd want to see if I see him in it. How did we miss this, right?
Oh, wow. Or what if you went back and go, I made a huge mistake.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I messed this one up. No, that would be if I could go back in time. If I don't go back in time, and today, one of my greatest favorite memories of ever working on a project, aside from Goodrich, which I truly, genuinely love, is Forgetting Sarah Marshall. And it was because everybody on that movie was, it was nobody. It was just, everybody was just having fun. No one knew what was going to happen out of it. It was a Judd Apatow R-rated comedy. We're like, look at us. We're on a beach having fun. I would go back to that just to be as simple and free as that moment.
Yeah. Well, boy, I hate these kind of questions because I never have the good answer. I mean, I'd go do Beetlejuice every day of my life if somebody said, you get to do one day a year back there, I go, sure, why not? I like being in Tim's world. I like everybody I know who's ever worked in that world really, really likes it. I'd say just about everyone,
Thank you for indulging me. Jumping into why I get to talk to you guys. So scripts like this do not come along all the time. Hollywood used to make movies like this all the time. And now they're hard to get off the ground. I'm assuming this is something that drew you both in for this project. Could you talk about what it was about this script and project that said, oh, I need to do this?
It was just well written. It was basically, it's that simple. It's just well written. And her pedigree is strong, but even, forget her pedigree. She herself, is really a good writer. And a good director. And so already you go, well, I don't, you think you read tons of good stuff, but you don't, because I'm not being critical. The odds are not huge that the script you're going to read that week is going to be really good. And also, to be honest, it was going to be shot in Los Angeles, which was big for me. And I like how Los Angeles plays a role, Anyway, you're right. Movies like this don't get made very often. Her mom used to make the great ones, Hallie's mom.
Yeah, same. All of the above. Working with Michael, working with Hallie. I don't work while my kids are in school unless it's shot in LA. And so for me, my timing and scheduling is very limited. So yes, shooting in LA with Michael and Hallie was a no-brainer. I went, I'll do it. And then my agent went, you should probably read the script. I went, nah, that's all right. What am I going to dislike about it? Awesome. What am I going to dislike? I know I'm not, there's nothing. And he was like, you should read it. And I went, okay, I'll read it. So I read it and I was like, I love it even more. But it was a combo of all the things. I agree with you. I think I hate when people say small stories because I don't think it's a small story. I actually think it's a really big, rich, beautiful, vibrant story. It just doesn't have cars blowing up in the background. I think it's important, and it's fun to be able to have dialogue and conversations that feel like banter and they go back and forth. And I loved everything about it.
The other thing is when something is shooting in LA, which is so infrequent now, all the supporting characters are elevated because everyone lives here. A lot of people live here.
Yeah.
So your surrounding cast are all like real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do. I feel badly about the industry not shooting here more. You know, a lot of people are out of work, and it's a
problem.
Yeah, I really hope it comes back here.
Oh, I know so many people who do crew that are struggling because everything is left. But so Michael, one of the things that I really enjoyed about this script was that your character is he's just a good person that works too much. He's not one of these, I kept wondering, is this going to show the flaw? You know what I mean? You sort of talk about that it's an honest portrayal of someone who's just a good person. Yeah,
that's an interesting observation. You're right. It is. And in a lot of ways, not to get too actory on you, but it gets, that makes it harder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If your arc
because you're no true villain. There's no one bad thing that you did.
Or you go, well, he was that guy, then he became that guy.
Yeah.
Because you're right. He actually isn't. Now, he's human, so he was selfish at various times of his life. You can't run away from that. But even that, he wasn't, he was not this evil person, which made it even more complicated because that's the situation with a lot of people, I've watched her be a mom through the day while she's at work. She's at work and then she's talking about the family. She and I were just talking about her and Ashton and what they have to do right now to get back for their kids' game. So she is one of those people. I am one of those people, Mm-hmm. So, and everybody out there is one of us people who try to pull all this together. Even harder now for people, much harder.
Now I feel like it's a luxury. Maybe it was always a luxury to be able to spend time with your family and your kids. And now I find it to be even a greater luxury. I really do. My parents are still together, right? So they're at 50 years. What are they at? Oh my God. Maybe 50 years. No, there's no way. Maybe 40. And when we immigrated over, I didn't see my dad for a majority of my teenage, from 7 to 15. I never saw my parents because they worked so much, right? They worked just to put food on the table, just to pay the bills, all things. And I never had any resentment to them for that. I always admired them for their ability to be so selfless in that regard. And I know when they look back, they feel like they missed out on a very large chunk of my youth. They were like, I never knew you did that. And I was like, well, yeah, because you were multiple jobs. And you know what I mean? I never wanted to burden them with that or whatever. So I always feel like it's always a tug of war. You ultimately have a little bit of resentment for doing the best you can.
Yeah, I think so many people, one of the reasons why I related to the film is I think everyone can relate to having family members that work. I mean, it's impossible. Life is impossible. I'll say it like that. So one of the things when I was watching this, Michael, is that I had some flashbacks to Mr. Mom, you with young kids. And a lot of people don't realize John Hughes wrote Mr. Mom. Yeah. And can you sort of touch on when you were filming this, did you have any sort of flashbacks to you know what I mean? Because that was a big role for you. And it's, a little similar with raising kids. Yeah, there are a few scenes here and there that are definitely similar. And obviously I did, when the scenes with the kids, that be 99% of fans, movie fans, I would guess, don't know that was John Hughes' first movie, really. Okay, I didn't know that. I'm going to tell you right now until you just said it. That it was John Hughes' movie. I did not know that. And I had a meeting with him. She'll tell you this. Huh. When you get a comedy, people think, and movies they've seen, they go, oh my God, that script must have been so funny. They are, but if you get a comedy script, and if there's 3 big laughs where you involuntarily laugh out loud, you're on to something. That doesn't sound like a lot, 3, because they're really hard. And, you may be smiling, right? Yeah. You're going, that'll be good. That'll be funny. And they go, oh my God. And I remember hitting my head I was reading in bed. I had a house out in the valley, and I was reading, and the scene came up, and Hughes' thing up, boom. And I hit my head on the back of the thing, on the wall. And I said, I know there's something
there's something in here. I would have never thought I was going to do a movie like that. I went, oh yeah, this is pretty good. So I had a meeting with him at the Palm, I think. Remember the Palm down at Santa
I love
Monica?
the Palm.
I know.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I've talked to him, and he talked a lot. It was mostly him doing the talking because he was not without a strong sense of himself, but I liked him. And he's talking, and I said to him, "You've never directed a movie, right?" He was in advertising. I think it was writer and director. And I said, "You should direct this movie. You know how to make this movie." He goes, "No, I can't ever make this movie." And he went on to become an iconic comedy guy.
Wow.
Yeah. But I love that little movie. I talk about that movie a lot of times. I bring it up actually because it's kind of considered, it's lightweight. It actually isn't, it was, this sounds stupid now maybe, but a man taking the role of what was traditionally women's roles. And
it was like, whoa, that's so crazy. It's so wacky. Look at this guy being a I know.
Yeah. Meanwhile, there were a lot of guys who were doing that who never got any credit. My dad had to get up. We had 7 kids. So, there were certain mornings, my mom couldn't get us all ready. He'd help out. And he used to, on Sundays, he was the guy who cooked breakfast, and he had to work 2 jobs. But I'd love to note the idea of it. And I also saw the comedic possibilities in it. By the way, if you go back and look at it, a lot of those scenes that were what you see weren't on the script, even though it was Hughes. There were improvements, let's say, that had to be made. And we were writing all the time. One of the reasons was the director was a good director. He wasn't a comedy guy, really. So we were constantly adjusting, let's say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I have to wrap or they're going to kill me. I was just going to say thank you for that story and for sharing. And again, thank you both for your work.
Sure.
I hope a lot of people go out to see this.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.